Assalamu alaikum friends. Now, as everyone else know in Pakistan know that we are having a very difficult situation. Economic situation is very difficult, and we are so desperate to get some money, to get some lending from borrowing from the IMF, and we are doing everything else. I think that the kind of reforms they have been insisting, these are not as bad the reforms. Our government should have been carrying it on without even the demands by the IMF. Rather, the reforms relating to the elites of Pakistan, to the ruling class of Pakistan, they should have been their luxuries, and they should have been reduced, rather minimized, because the country is experiencing very difficult and very tough economic position, and general public should have been given with a lesser burden as compared to the as compared to the elites and to the wealthy class of Pakistan. Unfortunately, here in our country, the wealthy class, the ruling class, they are spared, and they are not taxed properly, and then whatever they are, they don't pay because they are quite influential and the country is quite corrupt. That's the reason. But now, keeping in view all that, I think our atomic assets are in danger. Why? Because the poorer we are, the more vulnerable we become, and then a time will arrive when we will be having no option but to accept the demands of those world powers and IMF, because they will be demanding that our nuclear program should be rolled back. If at all we want the money, if at all we want to borrow the money from the IMF, from the World Bank, and from the other lending institutions in the world, they will be asking and demanding that we should roll back our nuclear program, or at least that the inspection of that should be allowed to the world, to the inspectors from the UNO, from America, or from any other world power. I think that is not fair at all, and I think that we as a country are heading toward that direction. Unfortunately, all of that is because economically we are very poor, and a day will arrive when we will not be able. A day might arrive, unfortunately, a day might arrive when we will not be able to resist their demands regarding the rollback of our nuclear program. So, if at all we want to continue it, if at all we want to protect our nuclear assets, so all what we need to do is that we should be reducing our economic dependence upon the IMF, upon the World Bank, and upon the other lending institutions. Why? Because unless and until we are economically independent, our independence is not complete at all. Rather, we are quite dependent, and we do have to come out of that dependence, and we do have to become a really and a genuinely independent nation, and we will be able to take the decisions regarding our sovereignty, regarding our security. We can take all those decisions independently only if at all we are economically independent. If at all we are not economically dependent, if at all we are seen as a bankrupt country, as a bankrupt nation for most of the time, then I think that we will not be able to resist the demands of the foreign powers, the world power, United States of America, European Union, UNO, or whosoever. So I think that our ruling class, either belonging to one party or the other, and then the military establishment, and then the civil bureaucracy and the judiciary, all of them should realize that this is the very bitter reality. They do have to accept it, and before any situation, any moment like that does arrive, I think that we do need to take certain precautionary measures, and these precautionary measures must be that we are economically independent and we are not dependent upon them.